WeightWatchers. Today I'm here to do my October 2020 reading wrap-up. I'm very excited about the books that I read this month. I read 3 books. I'm not a fast reader, and when I get busy, reading is the last thing I want to do, especially that I'm doing so much reading for grad school. Like, my brain does not want to read anything else. So the fact that I got through three books this month is honestly kind of surprising to me because it's been a big reading month for grad school. But I am very excited about 2 of the books. One of the books was just okay, but it is what it is. Sometimes I don't like books. So the first book that I read this month is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I got this in my book of the month for September. And y'all, I highly recommend this book. This book is so good. It's so good. Like, first off, very random, I like the font. The font on the front is connected to like the chapter titles. I don't know. I just really like the font. I'm weird like that. I rated this book 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It follows a group of people. I think there are, does it tell me how? 8 people that basically get taken hostage by a bank robber. And it really just goes through the struggles that people face and the things that we don't see that are going on in people's minds and their lives that we don't know about, and how there are connections between different people that you might not know. You know, I don't know. It just was such a good book to read. It's so good. I just loved it so much. Like, it was so good. I don't know. I felt like I could just relate somehow to the people, some of the people, and just, I mean, it's called Anxious People. I'm a freaking anxious person, so but it was just so good. Highly recommend. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So good. The next book that I read was Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I love the cover of this book, and one thing I really like about her books is not only are the book jackets cute, the actual books are as well. Love that. Because that's something you don't see a lot of the time, so I really appreciate that. A lot of people on BookTube and Bookstagram are very committed and love Elizabeth Acevedo. I do like her writing. This book was written in verse, so I do like verse writing. I think my problem is that she writes young adult, and I am not in a young adult phase. I don't know, like, you know, there's middle grades, young adult, adult. I don't know, I'm just not. This was about 2 girls, so they're in high school. Like, I'm not in high school. Like, there's young adult, like college. I could appreciate that, but I don't know. I'm just not the biggest fan of her books. I read earlier this year With the Fire on High, and I really didn't like that one either. I think it's just the young adult aspect that I don't enjoy, and that makes it hard to like connect with the characters and really like be into the storyline. Because I thought I would like this one because it seemed like more people like this than they did With the Fire on High. But then I'm like, now I feel like I need to try The Poet X because that's her other book. And I don't know that much about it, and I think maybe the hype like gets to me too of like why I don't end up liking these. I don't know. But basically this book is about 2 people that one lives in New York and one lives in Dominican Republic, and they are actually sisters, and they don't know until their dad dies in a plane crash. And this was not a spoiler, it's all in the synopsis. I felt like there was just so much like build up that when it got to the end of the, like, there was a lot of build up at the beginning, and then like so much happened at the end, and it needs to be like divided among the whole book in my mind. Like, I know you have to have the build up, you have to have the character introduction, you know, you have to have that kind of stuff in a book, but it just has to be like more widely divided among the book, not just so much like kind of like, oh, I have to get through the first part of the book to really, you know, I don't like books like that. unless it's like a thriller, but like that's kind of the point. I feel like, you know, there's all this build up until the plot twist. But I don't know, I just didn't really like this. A lot of people do like it, so I would say maybe give it a try if it's something that seems like you might be interested in. I was gonna check to see what I rated this. I rated this 3 stars, and the average rating on Goodreads is 4.38. So it was a good book. Not saying it's bad. 3 is like okay in my mind. 4 is pretty good. 5 is whoa, loved that so much. So that's how my rating system works. I don't normally give one rating or 2 rating to books. So 3 is just like, I could take it or leave it. And that's kind of how I feel with this. So try it out. Maybe Elizabeth Acevedo's for you. I don't think she's for me, but so the last book I finished yesterday, October 31st, you guys, I forgot I read Anxious People this month, so I don't really know which one is my favorite of the month, because this, guys, this was good too. So this is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover, yet again, big presence in Bookstagram and BookTube, and even like people that don't have any connection to those love Colleen Hoover. And I'm like, okay. So I've been wanting to read Regretting You. I got that in my last Barnes & Noble order, so that's on the lineup at some point. But I decided to start with this. This was so good. And I'm kind of sad. When I went to rate it last night, I was looking at the ratings on Goodreads, so I rated it 5 stars. And like, a lot of people were bashing it. And I'm like, okay. So basically, there's 2 people we're following. Fallon is the girl character and Ben is the male character. And something has happened on November 9th to the girl. And she has like a bad connotation with November 9th. It is November 9th throughout the entire book, basically. Where you're following 4 different November 9ths, I think, or 5. I should know, I just read this last night. Oh my gosh, what? Wait, I think I skipped it. Is that it? No, help. Okay, it just says last. Okay, never mind, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. But they basically end up like meeting, they're in LA, meet up, and she basically becomes inspiration for a novel that he's going to write. So they meet up every November 9th for a certain amount of years. And I've heard people kind of call this a thriller, and I was kind of confused, and I'm reading it and I'm like, this is not a thriller. This is not a thriller. I don't think it's categorized as a thriller, but there is a point where I was like, oh snap, okay. So there was kind of a plot twist in the middle of this book, and whoa baby, wild times. And then like everything comes out, and it was just so good. Like, I can't really tell you anything because it's all a spoiler, but so good. Highly recommend this. Wow, so good. Like, gives you all the feelings of just like, you're mad, you're sad, you're happy, you're in love, or you have a feeling of love. Like, it's a wild ride, guys, and I highly recommend this book. So good. So good. Highly recommend. So, I would say that October was a really good reading month for me. I did even finish reading a whole textbook, so I could count that toward my reading, but I'm not going to. Probably the first textbook I've ever read from front to back, but it was actually really good. Hashtag I'm a nerd. But yes, this month was really good. I loved Anxious People. I'm so excited. And I did get another one of his novels, so I'm excited to see if I like his writing style in other books. And like I said, Colleen Hoover, I want to be the person that like has favorite authors. Like, I just kind of read with the wind and, you know, whatever. But I like the idea of like being like, oh my gosh, like these Colleen Hoover books are so good. Like, I've read all of her books. I just love that idea. So I am kind of starting with her. I know I have Regretting You. I do want to read Verity. And then I don't really know much about any of her other books. I think Verity's by her. If it's not, that's embarrassing, but I'm 95% sure it is. Elizabeth Acevedo, I just don't think that's the author I'm going to be like, highly recommend for you. Maybe if you're in high school or like in that age range, maybe you would like it. Or if you like young adult in the high school age, you might like her. But I just don't think it's my thing. But I think that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you read this month, or if you have any book recommendations. Always love a good recommendation, and we'll probably buy it because I have a book buying problem, but it's okay. Yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye.